Hello everyone! My name is Sam, and today I'm going to be going over the most underrated Pokemon of every type. Please keep in mind that these are my opinions and are for different reasons. Most of them are from a design standpoint, but some are based on their shinies or competitive viability. I'm excluding legendaries and mythicals for obvious reasons, alongside Generation 9 Pokemon because we haven't had enough time to be able to accurately judge how popular they are yet. That's going to be it for the ground rules, so let's hop into it. Hey guys, quick disclaimer. I'm going to leave links to the original art that I'm using in the description. Please check out these creators and show them support. They're putting way more work into this art than I am on this video. And if you see your art in this video and don't want it to be, all you need to do is ask and I will take this video down, re-upload a version without your art in it. Thank you. For the first Pokemon on our list, we have the most underrated grass type, Dhelmise. When I first saw Dhelmise while playing Pokemon Moon, I thought, oof, that's really ugly. But its design slowly grew on me. I feel that the main reason for its lack of popularity is based around how many other amazing ghost types were added in Gen 7. These being Sensu-style Oricorio, Palisand, Sandygast, Mimikyu, Decidueye, Marshadow, and Lunala. Especially with Decidueye being easier to obtain, having the same typing, a slightly higher base stat total, and a signature Z move. Dhelmise isn't a bad Pokemon, it was just overshadowed in a generation that introduced a lot of really good ghost types. Next, we have the fire-type Centiskorch. My first encounter with it was while battling the Motostoke gym while playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. I love the design and it adds to a very limited roster of fire bug types. The only two that aren't part of its evolutionary line are Larvesto and Volcarona. However, with Volcarona having a higher base stat total and Centiskorch only being in Sword and Shield so far, Volcarona takes the spotlight from it, with its only advantage of Volcarona being that it has a Gigantamax form. Hopefully we'll have a game in the future where it can be the region's standalone fire bug type and give it the recognition it deserves. For our third member of this list, we have the water type Huntail. I fell in love with its design after receiving one via Wonder Trading in a playthrough of Pokemon X. It has a really solid design with a really clean shiny, but its low base stat total along with its counterpart Gorbis having higher overall stats, Huntail has only really been used as a swift swim physical sweeper in NU tier. The best way to make Huntail more viable would be to give it some slightly higher stats to at least balance it with Gorbis, along with giving it the Dark typing, which fits in with its Heart Gold and Soul Silver Pokedex entry, which states, "It lives deep in the pitch dark sea. It attracts prey by moving its tail in mimicry of a small animal." This not only ties into its dark environment, but also its general design and behavior. It could also work well with Mega Evolution, like the one in this concept art from Dr. Crafty on DeviantArt. Next up on our list is the normal type Persian, which is a relatively easy one to explain. It's just bland, a mountain lion with a gem on its forehead. What makes it special is that it's synonymous with Giovanni, the boss of Team Rocket. But its pre-evolution, Meowth, is a fan favorite since it's the only non-legendary Pokemon to know how to speak.
Meowth! That's right!
Because of this, Meowth is often seen as the actual mascot of Team Rocket. Meowth is also the only Pokemon to have 3 different regional forms, and when you focus on the Galar region specifically, it evolves into Berserker, leaving Persian out of the equation entirely, which shows just how overlooked it is. Its base stat total of 440 is just average, and since it's a normal type it has no super effective stab moves, making it difficult to fit it into a viable team. A way to work around this would be to give it a Mega Evolution with a dual typing of normal Steel, like this one from artist Otochono on DeviantArt. The electric type Pokemon I chose was Vikavolt, mainly because while it has possibly the coolest looking design of any Pokemon, its speed stat of 43 just isn't fitting. This thing looks like it should be one of the faster Pokemon, especially considering that its Ultra Moon Pokedex entry states, Vikavolt flusters opponents with acrobatic flying maneuvers. But it is outsped by Crustle, Conkeldurr, and Wailord! Now keep in mind that this is a hermit crab with a giant rock on its back, a Pokemon carrying 2 concrete pillars, and the heaviest non-legendary Pokemon in the game. Thank you, Game Freak. One of the main contributing factors towards Vikavolt not getting the love it deserves is that while you can find its base forms early game in Sun and Moon, you have to wait until you reach Pony Canyon in the late game to actually evolve it from Charjabug into Vikavolt. This issue with evolution, however, could easily be fixed by making its evolution triggered by a Thunderstone instead of having to have it evolve in a specific location. And while it definitely isn't needed, I feel like a Mega Evolution would fit it really well, especially one like this from artist J7663701 on Twitter. Next up on the list we have my favorite wind chime, the Psychic type Chimecho. The first Pokemon game I ever played was Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness, and I will always remember the sound that he made when he had an announcement. It was also an integral member of my team for a portion of my first playthrough of Pokemon X. After I found one in a Reflection Cave, I was able to use it to sweep Karina. It's not a bad Pokemon at all, it just doesn't compare to other strong Psychic types, which sucks because it's such a unique design. I feel like a way to improve it would be to give it the Ghost type, because you could argue that with its pale, almost transparent looking coloration, it could count as a Ghost type, along with adding some lore along the lines of churchyard bells outside of a cemetery. This would make it so that it shares its typing only with Lunala, which wouldn't be a problem because there's stat differences putting them in different tiers. You could also argue that giving it the Steel type makes more sense than Ghost, because bells are made of metal and Game Freak wouldn't need to add lore to make it work. However, the main issue with this would be that giving it the same typing as Metagross, a pseudo-legendary, Jirachi, a mythical, Bronzong, another bell-themed Pokemon with a base stat total of 45 points higher, and Solgaleo, a legendary, would lead to it being overshadowed even more than it already is. For the fighting type, we have my favorite Pokemon of all time, Chesnaught, which was my first ever starter and the least popular of its generation due to its design. Its high base defense stat of 122 and base stat total of 530 make him a decent option for competitive. However, having 2 times weakness to Psychic, Fire, Ice, Poison, and Fairy, along with its 4 times weakness to Flying, do bring its viability down by quite a lot. Its hidden ability, Bulletproof, is incredibly situational, as it makes Chesnaught immune to Ball and Bomb moves, but nothing else. I feel like Steadfast would be a much better ability to give it as opposed to Bulletproof, because of its Pokedex in Pokemon Y stating, when it takes defensive posture with its fists guarding its face, it can withstand a Bomb Blast. And if withstanding a Bomb Blast doesn't count as Steadfast, then I really don't know what is. The primary reason why Chesnaught is the least popular starter in X and Y is solely because of how bad its design is. And while I personally love the design, I can see why some people don't really like it. To fix this, it could be given a Mega Evolution, which would add to the Paladin/Dreadnought theme of Quilden and Chesnaught respectively. And of all of them, I personally love this one from Amazon Megas on DeviantArt. So that's going to be it for part 1 of this video. I'll be releasing part 2 in about a week once I finish recording. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you didn't, please tell me what I can do better in the comments. I'm always looking to improve my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.